Imagine a world where every action, every conversation, every moment is recorded. This is the concept of a real black box, a hypothetical system that captures everything everyone does all the time. While not currently a reality, the rapid advancement of surveillance technology brings us closer to this possibility. This raises profound ethical and technological questions about privacy, control, and the fundamental nature of a society under constant watch. As surveillance technology continues to evolve, we must consider how close are we to making this hypothetical system a reality? The real black box concept extends far beyond conventional surveillance cameras. It encompasses a vast network of sensors, data storage systems, and AI driven analysis tools that work together to capture and interpret virtually every aspect of human life. The Real Black Box collects multiple types of data, including video footage, audio recordings, location information, online activity, and even biometric data. These different data streams are integrated into a unified system, creating connections between previously isolated information sources. The result is a comprehensive data architecture that captures a complete picture of human activity. Beyond mere collection, the Real Black Box employs sophisticated AI-driven analysis to interpret the data. This allows the system to identify patterns, predict behaviors, and generate insights from seemingly unrelated information. Audio surveillance is a critical component of the Real Black Box concept. Sophisticated systems can capture conversations, ambient sounds, and other audio data, then process and analyze them to extract meaningful information. Ultimately, the Real Black Box concept represents an attempt to create a complete and permanent record of human existence. By capturing multiple types of data across various dimensions of life, it aims to document not just what people do, but potentially who they are and how they think. Such comprehensive surveillance raises profound questions about privacy, individual freedom, and the balance of power in society. AI-powered video analytics represents the evolution of surveillance technology from passive recording to intelligent analysis. Modern surveillance systems have evolved from passive recorders that simply stored footage for later review to intelligent systems that analyze video in real time. AI-powered video analytics offers several key capabilities that transform surveillance systems. Object detection allows the system to identify and track people, vehicles, and other objects in real time. Modern systems can classify these objects and monitor their movements throughout a scene. Facial recognition technology can identify individuals by analyzing facial features and comparing them against databases. This technology works even in crowded environments and can track specific people across multiple camera feeds. Behavior analysis identifies unusual patterns and can predict potential security threats. The system learns normal behavior patterns and flags deviations that might indicate suspicious activity. AI video analytics transforms raw surveillance footage into actionable intelligence through a sophisticated processing pipeline. AI video analytics dramatically increases surveillance efficiency and effectiveness. Systems can monitor multiple feeds simultaneously without fatigue, reducing false alarms by up to 90% while enabling real-time response to potential security threats. The Internet of Things, or IoT, expands the reach of surveillance beyond traditional cameras. IoT encompasses a wide array of connected devices, including smartphones, smartwatches, speakers, home sensors, and security cameras. These devices continuously collect and transmit data to central collection points, creating an extensive surveillance network. Wearable technology, such as smartwatches and fitness trackers, represents a particularly intimate form of IoT surveillance. Sensor networks create a web of interconnected surveillance points, sharing data with each other and with command centers. Modern IoT surveillance systems integrate multiple technologies, from video monitoring to environmental sensing, into unified platforms. The proliferation of IoT devices creates significant implications for the concept of a real black box that records all aspects of human activity. This expanding IoT landscape significantly increases surveillance capabilities, enabling continuous monitoring across all aspects of daily life. As IoT devices become more prevalent and integrated into our daily lives, they increasingly serve as the sensory network for comprehensive surveillance systems. Cloud computing provides the essential infrastructure for storing the vast amounts of data that would be generated by comprehensive surveillance systems. The sheer volume of data generated by a comprehensive surveillance system would be staggering. A single 1080p camera can generate 1 gigabyte per hour, and audio recordings add another 150 megabytes hourly. When scaled to billions of devices recording continuously, traditional storage solutions become inadequate. Traditional data centers present significant challenges for storing surveillance data. They have fixed capacity, require high upfront investments, demand ongoing maintenance, and offer limited scalability. Cloud computing, on the other hand, provides a solution with virtually unlimited storage potential. Cloud computing excels at scalability. As surveillance systems capture more data, cloud resources can automatically expand to accommodate the growing storage needs. This elasticity ensures the system never runs out of capacity while maintaining redundancy for reliability. Cloud computing enables global accessibility of surveillance data. This means footage and information captured anywhere can be stored, processed, and accessed from any location worldwide. Authorized personnel could monitor situations in real time across continents, with centralized control of the entire distributed surveillance network. Cloud computing provides the essential backbone for any large-scale surveillance system. It can handle petabytes of data, scale infinitely as systems expand, enable real-time analytics through integrated AI, and ensure data is never lost and always accessible. Without cloud infrastructure, a comprehensive surveillance system like the hypothetical real black box would be technically impossible. The global surveillance technology market is experiencing unprecedented growth. The market is projected to reach a staggering $315.42 billion by 2029. Market analysis indicates a compound annual growth rate of 9.5% from 2020 to 2028, demonstrating the rapid expansion of surveillance capabilities worldwide. This remarkable growth is being driven by three key factors. First, rising global security concerns are prompting increased investment in monitoring technologies. Second, government surveillance initiatives are expanding across both democratic and authoritarian nations. And third, increased adoption across various private sectors, from retail to healthcare, is further fueling market expansion. As surveillance technology becomes more sophisticated, control centers like this are becoming the nerve centers of security operations globally. Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing surveillance capabilities and accelerating market growth. The AI and video surveillance market alone is projected to reach $16.3 billion by 2028, growing at a compound annual growth rate of 23.7%. The surveillance market is segmented across various sectors, with government and commercial applications representing the largest share. To summarize, the global surveillance technology market demonstrates significant investment in expanding surveillance capabilities worldwide, with accelerating growth across all sectors. Mass surveillance involves collecting and analyzing data on large populations, regardless of individual suspicion. What exactly is mass surveillance? It's the indiscriminate collection of information about individuals or groups without specific cause or suspicion. Modern cities are becoming test beds for extensive surveillance networks, with cameras monitoring public spaces, pedestrian movements, and daily activities. Mass surveillance employs several methods to collect data on populations. First, communication interception involves directly capturing phone calls, emails, and messages as they travel across networks. Second, bulk data collection taps into massive data sets already stored by telecommunications companies and internet service providers. Third, mass hacking techniques compromise multiple devices or networks simultaneously to gain access to information. And fourth, facial recognition systems can identify individuals in public spaces without their knowledge or consent. Let's examine how bulk interception works in practice. The process involves tapping directly into the fiber optic cables that carry internet traffic, extracting and filtering data, storing it in massive databases, analyzing it with sophisticated tools, and finally, disseminating the intelligence. Facial recognition technology has become a cornerstone of modern mass surveillance systems. These systems can identify individuals in crowds by analyzing facial features and matching them against databases containing millions of faces. The technology works in real time and can track people as they move through public spaces. Mass surveillance relies on extensive physical infrastructure. This includes arrays of different camera types that can capture various perspectives and details in the environment. These cameras feed into integrated monitoring systems that allow operators to view multiple streams and analyze data in real time, creating a comprehensive surveillance network. Mass surveillance represents a fundamental component of any hypothetical real black box system. Such a system would require comprehensive data collection on entire populations, captured continuously and stored indefinitely. The chilling effect refers to the psychological impact that constant surveillance has on human behavior. When people know they're being watched, they often change how they act in subtle but profound ways. People become acutely aware of being observed and develop a heightened sense of self-consciousness. This woman's cautious glance over her shoulder illustrates the persistent feeling that someone is always watching. On a societal level, surveillance promotes conformity. People tend to adapt their behavior to fit perceived norms and expectations, fearing judgment or consequences for standing out. The digital monitoring creates a pressure to blend in with the crowd. Self-censorship manifests in multiple ways. People filter what they say, both online and offline. They avoid certain locations or activities that might draw attention. Many limit their digital activities and carefully curate their social connections to avoid potential scrutiny. Perhaps the most concerning impact of constant surveillance is the suppression of freedom and creativity. When people fear being watched and judged, they become less likely to explore new ideas, take risks, or express themselves authentically. The omnipresent cameras and monitoring systems create an environment where conformity is valued over innovation and personal expression. In summary, the chilling effect of surveillance creates a profound impact on both individuals and society. When people know they're being constantly monitored, they tend to self-censor, conform to expected behaviors, and limit their own freedom and creative expression. This psychological impact may be invisible, but its consequences for human potential and societal progress are far-reaching. Drones and robotics are revolutionizing surveillance by dramatically expanding monitoring coverage. Modern surveillance drones are equipped with high-definition cameras and advanced sensors that provide unprecedented monitoring capabilities. These aerial platforms can cover large geographic areas and navigate terrain that would be challenging for traditional surveillance systems. Surveillance drones come in various forms. Military grade drones can monitor vast territories and border regions. In urban environments, smaller drones support law enforcement operations and crowd monitoring. Specialized drones are also used to monitor infrastructure and remote locations, expanding the reach of surveillance networks. Advanced drone systems can deploy swarms of smaller drones to create expansive surveillance networks that cover entire cities or regions. These drones continuously transmit surveillance data to centralized collection systems, creating an ever-expanding network of aerial monitoring. With their aerial perspective and mobility, drones make it increasingly difficult to avoid detection or find areas outside of surveillance coverage. The impact of drone surveillance technology extends traditional systems in four critical ways. The most significant implication is that drones create an environment where there are virtually no spaces beyond the reach of surveillance technologies. China has developed one of the world's most extensive surveillance systems, providing a real-world example of a comprehensive monitoring infrastructure. China's surveillance system includes an estimated 200 million cameras nationwide, comprehensive internet monitoring, facial recognition networks, and AI-powered analytics. China has implemented several key surveillance initiatives. The Golden Shield Project, also known as the Great Firewall, monitors and censors internet traffic. The Skynet project creates an urban video surveillance network with facial recognition capabilities. The Sharp Eyes program extends surveillance into rural areas and even private spaces. The system employs advanced technologies, including AI-powered facial recognition, gait recognition to identify individuals by how they walk, emotion detection systems, and voice pattern recognition capabilities. In Xinjiang region, surveillance is particularly intensive, raising serious human rights concerns. The system collects mass biometric data, monitors religious practices, requires mandatory app installations on phones, employs predictive policing, and has reportedly led to detentions based on surveillance data. The social credit system extends China's surveillance capabilities by rating citizens' behavior and trustworthiness. It aggregates data from multiple surveillance sources, rewards compliance with rules, and can impose restrictions on travel, education, and employment opportunities for those with low scores. China's surveillance system has global implications. The technology is being exported to other countries, serving as a model for authoritarian surveillance. It contributes to the normalization of mass surveillance worldwide and functions as a testing ground for advanced monitoring systems. The scale of global surveillance infrastructure is staggering. Today, there are over 770 million cameras in use worldwide. The distribution of these cameras is not uniform. Certain cities, particularly in Asia, have extraordinarily high camera density relative to their population. Many of these cameras are equipped with advanced capabilities like facial recognition and behavioral analysis, expanding their surveillance power beyond simple monitoring. This widespread deployment creates a pervasive sense of being watched throughout our daily activities, from morning routines to evening social interactions. This omnipresent surveillance contributes to what experts call the chilling effect, where individuals modify their behavior, self-censor their speech, and limit their activities due to the awareness of being constantly watched. Addressing the ethical and societal implications of extensive surveillance requires open public dialogue. Understanding surveillance ethics requires examining multiple perspectives, including government transparency, technological impacts on privacy, and public trust. A critical aspect of surveillance policy is finding the right balance between security needs and individual privacy rights. Public opinion on this balance has shifted over time, with growing concerns about civil liberties in recent years. Developing effective surveillance policies requires input from diverse stakeholders, including legislators, privacy advocates, security experts, and the general public. These policies must be transparent, subject to regular review, and establish clear limitations on surveillance activities. Ethical surveillance policies are built on several core principles. First, necessity. Surveillance should only be conducted when necessary for a legitimate aim. Second, proportionality. The scale and scope must be proportional to the objective. Third, accountability. There must be a clear chain of responsibility for all surveillance activities. Fourth, transparency. The public needs information about surveillance capabilities and their use. And fifth, oversight. Independent review and authorization processes are essential. As data collection increases, understanding consumer expectations for privacy becomes critical for developing sound policies. Research shows consumers want greater transparency, express concern about data collection, and value having control over their personal information. Implementing ethical surveillance requires following established best practices, particularly for technologies like facial recognition. Effective surveillance policies must include mechanisms for accountability and redress when privacy violations occur. These mechanisms include legal remedies through courts, independent oversight bodies, internal audits, and transparent public reporting. As surveillance technology continues to evolve rapidly, public dialogue and policy development must be ongoing processes. Continued public engagement ensures democratic oversight, while the balance between security and privacy requires constant reassessment. As surveillance technology continues to advance, we must consider the potential scenarios of a world under constant watch. Will every aspect of our lives be recorded and analyzed? How might such a future affect us as individuals and as a society? Let's examine two contrasting potential futures: one where surveillance creates safety and efficiency, and another where it leads to control and restriction. An optimistic view suggests surveillance could create safer cities with instant emergency response, effective resource allocation, and reduced crime. A more concerning vision sees pervasive monitoring, controlling all aspects of life, eliminating privacy, and potentially suppressing political freedoms. The most significant impact of constant surveillance may be on our personal freedom. When we know we're being watched, we naturally alter our behavior, a phenomenon known as the chilling effect. We may self-censor our speech, modify our actions, and lose the autonomy that comes with privacy. Over time, this could fundamentally change what society considers acceptable behavior. Creativity and innovation often require the freedom to take risks, make mistakes, and think unconventionally, all potentially inhibited by constant observation. When every action is recorded, the fear of judgment may lead to greater conformity and reduced willingness to explore unusual or controversial ideas. The privacy to experiment is crucial for creative breakthroughs. Our social interactions may undergo the most profound changes in a surveillance-saturated world. Human connection relies on authenticity and trust, both potentially compromised when we know we're being observed and recorded. Constant monitoring could create a disconnect between our public and private behaviors, with genuine emotional expression increasingly regulated. Spaces for truly candid interaction may become rare luxuries. As we move toward a future where surveillance technology becomes increasingly powerful and pervasive, we must carefully consider fundamental questions. What level of privacy are we willing to sacrifice for security? Who should control access to surveillance data? How can we maintain our freedoms in an increasingly monitored world? The answers will shape whether surveillance technology becomes a tool for human flourishing or a mechanism of control. As we conclude our examination of surveillance technology, we must navigate this complex landscape with careful consideration. The concept of a real black box that records everything serves as a powerful cautionary tale. It highlights the risks of unchecked surveillance, potential privacy violations, and demonstrates the urgent need for ethical frameworks. To navigate toward responsible use of surveillance technology, we need several key elements. A critical challenge is balancing privacy and security needs. We must recognize that both are essential values that need not be mutually exclusive. Digital literacy is crucial. By empowering citizens with knowledge about surveillance technologies, we enable meaningful participation in the decisions that shape our collective future. By understanding the technology, ethical implications, and potential consequences, we can work toward a future where surveillance technology serves society while protecting individual rights and freedoms. The path forward requires vigilance, informed discourse, and commitment to democratic values. Together, we can harness the benefits of surveillance technology while mitigating its risks.